Somebody's talking a third world war. And the police said this is normal control. Candles burning yesterday. Somebody's best friend died. I've been caught in a mind ride. I was slipping through the cracks of a stolen shoe. I was tied rope walking into dead shoes. No, somebody's talking a third world war. And the police said this is normal control. Candles burning yesterday. Somebody's best friend died. I've been caught in a mind ride. Welcome to another episode of the apocalypse. And congratulations, since you have chosen the apocalypse. You are in urgent need of a guide. I am that guide, whether you want me or not. Nicholas, your humble guide. Well, who needs a green card when you can get a gold card for the low price of $5 million US? Better get those dollars while you can, because they're about to put us all on crypto, also known as Dogecoin, also known as Beast Coin. So put a few of those dollars away, because they're about to go away. Yes, Donnie Shitbags today says he gonna offer people a gold card. And they even asked him, hey, Donnie, would you offer those gold cards to Russian oligarchs? And Donnie's like, yeah, why not? You fucking rubes. Oh my God, did you get played? Lost your country, lost your future, your children's future. Every damn thing you care about is gone. Already gone. We don't have to wait for it to actually be gone. Just like we don't have to wait to be at the lake. We're already there. I know you don't understand that concept, but I do. And so do the people I'm talking to. Anyway, outbreak updates again. America's flock of egg-laying hens dropped to the lowest since 2016 in January, as avian influenza resulted in the death of millions of birds, driving egg prices to record levels, and that's per Bloomberg. And just what I found interesting about this, I told you there's going to be plagues because of who Donnie and Leon are and because of where we are in the story. That seems to be the reality that we're living in, whether you like it or not. Again, whether you believe in it or not, it appears to be our reality based on logic. And based on logic, Donnie, that's right when he started his presidency in 2016. And we had the largest, outbreak of avian flu and lowest egg stock we've ever had. And then fast forward, How many years? 9 years later? Again, we're at the same point. All of a sudden, when Donnie comes to office, gee, I wonder why these plagues are getting worse. And I wonder why Donnie and Leon, one of the first actions they took was to get rid of all the plague warning systems and say, you can't communicate to the public because I'm the beast and he's the false prophet and this is the apocalypse. And we know there's going to be plagues just like last time. We had a plague that shut down the whole fucking world. And that still didn't give you Rubes a clue, did it? Of course it didn't. So they know there's going to be more plagues this time because of who they are. They know. So they had to shut that down. And plus, Donnie remembers how COVID fucked up his numbers. You know, he just wanted to hide the fact that like millions of people were dying. Just sweep that under the rug. You know, you can't fuck with my poll numbers and this grift I got going. Shit. So yes, and we're at the same place we were at in 2016. I told you God hit the pause button. You didn't believe me, did you? Again, last presidency or last grift session. That's not in quotes. That's actual truth. Grift session. Yeah, we had a plague that shut down the whole fucking world. No one could even go to work. You know, and of course the Republicans in Congress and the Senate took that as an opportunity to build up a nice big slush fund and then lie about how many employees they have and lie about businesses they have and, you know, take millions of dollars from you. And you got a $1,200 check, though. That should make you feel better. That's some consolation, right? As Republican congressmen and senators were taking millions for businesses they don't even fucking have. Whatever. You love to be conned. Here's another example of how you were conned over decades, too. It's Roger Stone. Again, I read this earlier, but let's read it quickly one more time, and I won't spend a lot of time on it. Again, memorandum from the office of Roger Stone to Donnie Shitbags. And it's regarding enemies of the state and guns. And it's from March 22nd, 2024. And the people that were CC'd, so they could enjoy the email, too, and enjoy the thievery and plot, or excuse me, treachery and plot. Susie Wiles, Chris Lasavita, Jason Miller, Dan Scavino, all great people, right? All very fine people. And then it says confidential. And then I'm bringing this up for a reason, by the way, because it totally corroborates something else. There's a lot of similarities between the two things, but I'll get to that. Let's just read this quickly. So your Rubes can learn that you've been utterly conned and they look at you as a joke, something to be manipulated, and as sheep. And that they don't care about the Second Amendment, and neither do you, really. And they just want to take your guns away. That was the ultimate plan for many, 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 many years. And it wasn't a liberal plan, despite you wanting it to be really bad, because that would make you the good guys. But you're not. You're the bad guys. Sorry. As we discussed over the phone, when reelected, I believe you need to address the sticky issue of the Second Amendment and the right to bear arms. That's in quotes. By our opponents and enemies. In other words, selective gun confiscation for people that they deem might be a problem in the future when they really roll out the real fascism, martial law, all that stuff they're going to roll out on you good people. We can get around the gun issue with our base. That's you, Rubes. He's talking about you right now. By promoting a fix in early 2025 that won't affect patriots. Again, that's in quotes because he knows you people aren't really patriots. That's just what you call yourselves, and that's why he put it in quotes. The fix can include a new licensing program that would ensure our enemies can't get guns by empowering the FBI and local law enforcement with the right to confiscate guns of anyone deemed to be an enemy of the state. That's in quotes. In other words, it doesn't really mean you're an enemy of the state. It means we say you are. In other words, Raj is admitting to the bullshit here. He didn't think this would be seen, but just in case it got seen, Raj decided, let me be careful what I say about the base. Let me be gentle with that part in case this ever comes to light. We can decide the parameters that would determine what actually is an enemy, and that's in quotes again, later so the base doesn't flip out. So the Rubes don't flip out. That's what that means. Please let me know whether you would like me to draw up some plans for this for your review. So Roger, going all the way back to Nixon, has wanted to take your guns away for his little Nazi white supremacist plan that he's been a part of since Nixon days. Alex Jones, Cernovich, all those people, they've all been part of it as well. They are all the hand of Satan, literally. And when they call the rest of us the enemy, the people they want to take the guns from, the children of God, the actual ones, not the ones that are lying and then voting GOP Jesus and thinking they a Christian. You know, all those Christians that are going to take the mark willingly and gladly, because the mark will have an R next to it, so they got to take it, right? Well, they're that stupid. Of course they will. Of course they will, even though they've read the scripture and they know it's the one thing they shouldn't be doing. Hey, it's got an R next to it, and I can't go against that. The brainwashing's too deep. The indoctrination, the respect of my peers that are also the hand of Satan. I don't want to lose that. I don't lose my status in the community. Because, you know, all this is worth my soul, because that's what it's going to cost you, son. I promise you. Unfortunately for you. So, yes, this plan's been around many, many decades. Again, New World Order, all that stuff. You all, and I'm talking to the Rubes, you are the hand of Satan. You are the New World Order. You are the Reich now. You are the friends of Stone and Donnie, who want to subjugate the population by taking the guns away. Again, New World Order, George Bush Sr. gave the clearest New World Order speech. Again, that's a hardcore CIA Republican. That's not a liberal. In other words, you people have been projecting your Satanism on us, on everyone else. When you were it the whole time. Alex, Cerno, you're of Satan. You heard me right. You are of Satan. Miss Levitt is of Satan. Donnie is of Satan. Roger Stone, Richard Nixon, Bongino, Patel, Bondi, Martin. You're all of Satan. And I could see that you know that as you're standing next to Donnie announcing things. It's written all over you. It's grating on you, costing more and more of your soul. I can see it on every one of you. Except for Donnie. Donnie's in his glory, and so's Leon. Everyone else is like, oh my God, what am I doing? I'm a spokesman for Nazis if I'm Miss Levitt. That's what she's doing. And she yells things like, it is a fact that it is called the Gulf of America. No, it isn't, son. Just because a fat geriatric in orange face and a shitty diaper says it's the Gulf of America doesn't mean it's the Gulf of America. He can go fuck himself, and so can Miss Levitt, who looks 43 at 27. And here's Bondi. I couldn't remember her name because, you know, she's just another cliche bleach blonde, wannabe Aryan woman. And she's sitting there with Donnie. And Anonymous would like to warn you, Trump and his oligarchs are coming for your guns. You've been warned. They would like to warn you. And I've been warning you the past few days. And then I asked you, again, Roops, I asked you the question a while back. Wouldn't it be funny if Donnie and the GOP came for your guns after you projected your evil onto liberals for like 30 years and you wasted 30 years of your life on Facebook spouting this bullshit liberal conspiracy theory stuff, when it was you people all the time? I see it every day. Cops, firemen, people in the church, all Republicans getting caught child molesting, raping, all kind of stuff. I don't see a lot of transgender people on that list, though, getting caught with, you know, literal child porn, you know, on their computer or whatever. I don't see too many liberals getting caught with that stuff. You know who I do see? All of the Christians. All of the GOP type people. Cops, firemen, again. Youth counselors, youth pastors. All the people that claim to be Christians. All the people that claim to be of God. Kind of funny how you've projected what you freaks are into. on everybody else. And you got away with it. And now it's cost you your country, your children's future, and everything. And ours too. And then they're going to come for your guns. Good luck. Here's Leon today. Canada is not a real country. That's Leon, who's, I think, was born in Canada. I don't even remember. Some of his family was, until they realized they were Nazis and they threw him out of Canada. I forgot. That's why they went to Nazi South Africa. Oh, excuse me, apartheid South Africa. That's what I meant to call it. And this person's saying this is a Canadian, softest incel ever. One petition to revoke his bought and paid for Canadian citizenship, and Canada isn't even a real country. Or he's still big mad that his abusive Nazi-loving grandfather was arrested in Canada for holding Nazi rallies in Saskatchewan before fleeing to South Africa. Either way, he's so soft. Now, this is a Canadian who knows the history. He just broke it down for you. Holding Nazi rallies in Saskatchewan before fleeing to South Africa. Gee, I wonder why Leon's a Nazi. I wonder who he learned it from. This thing gets passed down like a family heirloom, Nazism, with these freaks. Leon, his daddy and his granddaddy and his mother, etc. They pass it down. It's crazy. And yeah, that's what it comes down to. Leon's pissed because the Parliament and the people of Canada are passing a petition around. Since Leon wants to take over Canada, Mexico, Central America, and Greenland to fulfill his Nazi oligarch map from the 40s or whenever that bullshit was drawn up. Yet he gets offended when the Canadians say, you know what, let's take his citizenship away and get rid of this fucking guy. Since he's got such a big mouth about our country. Again, Leon wants to stir all this trouble up, and then he gets mad when people insult him. He gets mad when they circulate a petition. He wants to be Caesar of the world, just like Donnie does. The thing is, Leon, all you're doing is securing your place at the lake. And again, you and Donnie are specifically mentioned. There's no chance for you two. You're definitely going in because you're never going to turn, and that's kind of obvious. Here's a little couple Charlie Kirk posts that Elon co-signed. And the community notes were removed, but someone screenshot it before they were removed. Let's go through it quickly. This is Charlie Kirk, and you know him, I call him Potato Head and Gums. That's how you recognize Charlie. See them gums a mile away, you can see that potato head. He's not a very good-looking fellow. And he's another guy with a kind of high voice, definitely socially awkward. And I really wonder if he's in the bathhouse with Tucker and Ben and, you know, those types of people. Ukraine aid is a perfect example of how America used to always get ripped off. Again, this is Gums and Potato Head talking, so don't take it too seriously. America gifted Ukraine $250 billion in munitions and aid, but got nothing in return. First of all, we didn't gift them anything. We asked them to give up their nuclear weapons. Reluctantly, they did because we strong-armed them. And this is their thanks for it. Donnie shitbags betraying them and making them give Donnie mineral rights and shit like that. That's the thanks they get. So no, we didn't gift them a damn thing. We promised them protection and other guarantees if they got rid of their nuclear weapons. Stupidly, they did get rid of their nukes. I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I wouldn't have gave a fuck who came at me as the president of Ukraine. I would have been like, go fuck yourself. I'm never trusting you or Vlad. Get the fuck out my country. I'm keeping my nukes. You know why? Because it's going to keep you and Vlad the fuck out of my country. What a dumb move that was. And it wasn't Zelensky in power at the time. He has nothing to fucking do with it. He just gets to clean up the mess that all you cunts left him, including the United States. And I say that as an American. I'd rather not be an American. I'd rather be a citizen of another country at this point, honestly. But, you know, they only let you in if you're rich. So, permanently. We're highly skilled. Europe loaned 145 billion in financial and military aid to Ukraine. America is done being taken for suckers. Well, no, America is the suckers, but not for the reason you think. They're suckers for believing people like Charlie because everything he said here is an abject lie. That is a lie. The U.S. also made Ukraine give up nuclear weapons. Had the U.S. not provided bullshit guarantees of sovereignty, Ukraine would have their nukes and never have been invaded a decade ago. Indeed, indeed. Keep the nukes, man. That'll keep the fucking Ruskies out of your country. It'll keep the Americans out of your country, too. Every day, all day. Those are the only countries we don't invade, are ones with nuclear missiles. So dumb move getting rid of those. And Europe has given more money than the United States, by the way, if you didn't know that. So every time you hear a liar on the right-wing podcast grift circuit start talking about how much money the U.S. Gave, they always inflate the number, and they never make the point that Europe has given more. That wouldn't fit the narrative. Here's Charlie Kirk again, and the reason I'm showing you this is because someone pointed out that the community notes were deleted. And this is the one Leon co-signed. Very one-sided, Leon says. One-sided, he says. Ooh, Leon, I'm going to so enjoy your fat, pasty ass going in the lake, man. And no one deserves it more than you, except for maybe Donnie or maybe Vlad. I don't know. It's a close race. Here's Charlie Potato Head again. Ukraine aid is the perfect example of how America used to always get ripped off. Really? Because I thought America was the country ripping people off. But, that's just me. America gifted Ukraine $250 billion in munitions and aid, but got nothing in return. Oh, I see. It's the same tweet twice, but the community notes were removed. All right, so let's read the community notes. America has not given $250 billion to Ukraine. $120 billion has been delivered, of which $20 billion are loans. So some of that money we're giving Ukraine is loans. Charlie forgot to mention that part. And Charlie forgot to mention the real figure of 120. Europe has provided $136 billion, of which 60% is gifts, most military and humanitarian aid, and 40% is loans, most of the financial aid. So those are the real numbers. And they ain't even close to the numbers Charlie was talking. You notice that? That's because Charlie's part of the right-wing grift/terror machine. Probably financed by Russia or China or the RNC or something like that. These cunts don't come out of nowhere. Somebody finances them. That's how they get the commercials on YouTube, funded by Russian money or RNC money, which is still Russian money. And that's how they get promoted, and that's how they buy the bot followers and all that. And then Vlad supports all these right-wing grifters by, trolling for them, botting for them. All that. It's all fake. It's all a facade, and they're not a majority anywhere. But with the bot and troll traffic, they appear to be sometimes. I remember back during Donnie's first presidency, I would go to CNN and the trolls would be all over it. Donnie's trolls, Vlad's trolls, every single day. They had to kill CNN, man. That was a big target back then because CNN was doing some great work back then. A lot of their anchors. I was really impressed, actually. They helped get our country back for 4 years, CNN, actually. That's why a right-wing oligarch bought them and ruined them. Turned them what they are today. That's why Leon bought Twitter. That was another instrumental tool in ruining Donnie's shitbags. That's why Leon and the Saudis and Russia and Puff Daddy had to buy it. Because, the sex trafficking ring was hurting because of Donnie's loss as president. That's simple. Let's continue. Oh, this is Miss Haba. Remember her? Prettier than smart. She'd rather be pretty than smart. And she cost Donnie about $500 million in his lawsuit. Of course, all that went away once Donnie became the president again. This is what we're about. We're running this country like President Trump runs the Trump organization. Like Elon Musk running X, that's what we're doing. Well, Leon dismantled and looted X and turned it into a joke of a 4chan with like 3 Democrats on it, like I said. So that's how that went. And he never made a profit once on X. Paid, I don't know, over double what it was worth. That's how bad Vlad and he wanted it. And the Saudis wanted it and Puff Daddy wanted it. They needed Donnie back in power. Little did Puff Daddy know his ass would be in jail because he's black. While all the other sex traffickers get to run free because they're not black. It's great, isn't it, Diddy? Daddy, whatever the fuck your sad-ass, pathetic joke of a name is. Non-talent fucking thug your whole life, just like Donnie shitbags. So yeah, Trump is running it like the Trump Organization. He's looting all the anything of value and letting it go bankrupt. That's what Donnie does. That's what he did to all his casinos and all his other businesses. Take all the value for him and his buddies at the top and let the company go bankrupt. That's what he does. He'll stiff contractors. Donnie's got a long rap sheet of stiffing people, not paying bills, being a cheapskate, giving gifts that aren't worth anything. Famous people have told these stories. So yeah, he is running it like the Trump Organization. He's bankrupting it, and he's keeping whatever juice he can squeeze out of it for himself. He's about to go to Fort Knox and loot you idiots there, too. So's Leon. They're telegraphing in advance that the gold's going to be missing when they get there. I have a feeling that's a lie coming from 2 compulsive liars. Just a feeling. And I can't wait till they come back. The reporters better be on that. Hey, what's up with the gold? Did you guys see the gold, or was it all missing like you said it would be? This really surprised me right here. 21 DOGE staffers resign rather than help use their technical expertise to dismantle critical public services, according to a resignation letter obtained by the AP. What have I been saying to you people since Donnie won? After they showed us what they were going to start doing and then they started doing it, I said they're dismantling and looting your country. What did these gentlemen say that quit? Dismantle critical public services. We don't want to dismantle America. That's literally what they're saying. We know what you're doing. And I love these guys. So many people that resign in a situation like this are all scared of Donnie or whoever. And they beat around the bush and they just say a nice goodbye. And they'll like intimate at something that was a problem because they too chicken shit to just take a stand. And I notice a lot of you are starting to take a stand, but you know what? It's too late now. I wish you would have took that stand earlier. I wish you would have been as blunt as you are now earlier, and I mean years earlier. But you didn't. After he gets the keys back to the vault, it's too late to take a stand now. And those of us that are, we've been doing it for years already. We've been talking about these pieces of shit. So we know what's coming for us, and we're ready and we're willing to make that sacrifice. Because we ain't scared like you people. Who waited till you're neck deep in the water to start fucking taking a stand. Too late now, but I love these guys. These are the types of things I don't expect to see, because I know how many sociopaths there are in this world ready to fill that void of evil, because no one else would ever give them that chance and have that belief in them, because they're all worthless wastes of oxygen. Literally. So yes, the 21 DOGE staffers resigned. Do I have the whole article? I don't remember. Oh, here it is. I'll get to it in a second, though, after this joke. This is David Levitt, who says, "Hi, Leon, can you please tell us 5 things you did last week?" And the reason he's saying that to Leon is because of this. That's like the Titanic going down in the northern cold waters. That's how far of a slope the Tesla stock has slipped, because Leon's such a fascist douchebag. So since your performance is so bloody horrid in all of your companies, Leon, what did you do last week? What are your 5 bullet points of what your bitch ass did? Because the only reason your business still even exists is because of welfare. That's it. The dude has no skill in business whatsoever. He's a rich kid who buys in, and everybody, at the second he walks in the room, everybody's like, oh, here comes this fucking asshole that doesn't know it. His head from a hole in the ground. And this is the proof of it. That's why Mr. Levitt, is it? David Levitt is asking, well, what did you do, Leon, last week? Well, we know what he did. Special K, a ton of it. He pretended he was a thug, and he wasn't a pasty ass, soft ass, snowflake ass South African Nazi who was too chicken shit to take on Zuckerberg in a cage match. Yeah, that's his performance. So, where are your bullet points, Leon? Oh, and did you contact your baby mamas yet? That's plural, mamas with an S. After they begged you online to contact them because you're a fucking deadbeat. And you proved it. You proved how you think of your children and these women you got with when you left your little son standing up on the stage, he had to run to catch up with you, and he almost fell on the second step down. I noticed that. How come you didn't? Oh, that's right. You were too busy running away from the kid because you forgot he even existed. That's what proves all I need to know about you and all I say about you right there regarding that situation with your mistresses and your children and the one you just left hanging the other day. To the point ladies in the crowd were like, yo, you forgot your little boy, asshole. I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen a parent act like that before in my life. A child that small can barely reach the railing, and their dad is running away from them. The kid almost fell on the second step down, by the way. Did you notice that? I did. He just caught the railing before he fell. Little tiny child. It didn't even look right, him going down those stairs by himself, because you don't usually see that. Normal parents will hold the kid's hand or be very close in proximity so they can grab the kid real quick. One of the strangest things I've ever seen in my life. A man walking away from his tiny child as he runs after him, almost falls down the stairs, and then barely makes it down the rest of the stairs as his father is getting further and further and further away, as if he doesn't even know the child behind him. That's what it appears at a distance when you watch it. You see a father rushing off stage for whatever fuck reason. You see a tiny child realizing, oh, my father's walking away from me. Let me run after him and catch up, because that's my daddy. Almost busts his ass on the second step, just caught the rail in time. As Leon's getting further and further and further and further away. Doesn't look back. Except right at the beginning, he looked back for half a second. The whole rest of the time doesn't look back to make sure the kid got down the steps okay. Just keeps on walking. That thing's a monster, man. That Leon thing. And that's why that Leon thing is going right in the lake. Here's the AP story. Let's read a little bit of it. More than 20 civil service employees resigned Tuesday from billionaire Trump advisor Elon Musk's department, DOGE, saying they were refusing to use their technical expertise to dismantle critical public services. Here's the message they want the public to know. And this is a concept none of you rubes would understand. You don't believe in it in the slightest. All you believe is, we'll take a dictator as long as it has an R next to it. As long as he cons us long enough before he comes and grabs our guns. We swore to serve the American people and uphold our oath to the Constitution across presidential administrations. What a novel concept, right, Rubes? You wouldn't know nothing about upholding an oath. Not a damn one of you. To the Constitution, I mean, because none of you care about the Constitution. Otherwise, you wouldn't have voted for Donnie Shitbags. That shows me you don't care for the Constitution. Just the Second Amendment part. And Donnie's coming for your gun, so that's gone. However, it has become clear that we can no longer honor those commitments. The employees also warned that many of those enlisted by Musk to help him slash the size of the federal government under Trump administration were radical ideologues who did not have the necessary skills or experience for the task ahead of them. I've literally said all these things, and so have many other people. These people are not qualified. They're college dropouts or sociopaths. One of them's a recent high school graduate. They're not qualified in any way, shape, or form. It comes down to this. Satanic-ass Leon groomed these kids and has them doing things that will ruin the rest of their life. And good thing for them, we've only got a few years left. So the rest of their life ain't that long before they go in the lake. Lest they turn away, little children. Here's your warning. Turn away, little children. This is your last warning. If you do not, you have a date with me in the lake. So one more time. Radical ideologues who did not have the necessary skills or experience for the task ahead of them. Well, yeah, they're college dropouts. They're losers. They wanted to be a startup guy like Luigi or Leon. The thing is, guys, you weren't born with a daddy who had an emerald mine and a bunch of Nazi money from finding relics from his daddy before him. That's what you little children don't have. And I know you're looting the American government for whatever you can grab. You've already charged the American government, I don't know, something like nearly $20 million for all this work you guys are doing. I hope it was worth your soul. And again, Leon groomed these people because older people might tell him to fuck off, just like these people are telling him to fuck off. But these are groomed young people with the promise of riches. Kleiger, I think, already has a little money. And he's the oldest of them all, and he should know better, but he doesn't. This is another greedy piece of shit, destined for the lake. Anyway, I thought about the lake again. And the phrase, it's just business came up. So when you guys are standing in front of me in a line, and I say to you, you have 2 minutes to tell me why I shouldn't throw you in. And I'll give you your 2 minutes, just like you wanted all these employees to give you 2 minutes of their time. That was the talking point, right, Chaya? After you give me your little spiel, and I disregard the whole thing just like you've done your entire life to people and laughed about it and said it's just business, sorry, when it never was just business. I'm going to throw you in, and then I'm going to turn around to the rest of you and say, hey, it's just business. I work for God. It's his business. I'm the person he hired to do it. Just business, guys. Right? That's what all this is. The looting and dismantling of our country by Hitler Youth and Leon, who's too cowardly to say he's even in charge of the department anymore, but we'll get to that. The mass resignation of engineers, data scientists, and product managers is a temporary setback for Musk and the Republican president's tech-driven purge of the federal workforce. Yeah, this sounds totally normal, not dystopian at all, not like the apocalypse at all, right, Rubes? It comes amid a flurry of court challenges that have sought to stall, stop, or unwind their efforts to fire or coerce thousands of government workers out of jobs. Fire or coerce, that sounds really normal too. And that's the corporate mentality right there. Coerce them to quit by making them come in and give me bullet points, just like the movie American Beauty. And you know what? I loved how Kevin Spacey handled that moment in American Beauty. That's how you should handle it. Lawsuits. And whatever you got to say to make that happen. Because those people deserve it. And believe me, they'll say anything about you. In a statement, this is my favorite part, Miss Leavitt, 27, going on 43. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was dismissive of the mass resignation. Oh, I bet she was. They get real mad about this type of stuff. When a group of people makes them look this fucking crooked, evil, and stupid, believe me, they seethe, they gnash their teeth that these people had the courage to take a moral stand and say, fuck you, Nazis. Fuck you, Donnie, you fat fuck. That gets his goat like nothing else. Even though they say things like this. You ready? Anyone who thinks protests, lawsuits, and lawfare will deter President Trump must have been sleeping under a rock for the past several years, Leavitt said. President Trump will not be deterred from delivering on the promises he made to make our federal government more efficient and more accountable to the hardworking American taxpayers. And it's a fact that it's called the Gulf of America. I told you people. Oh my God, this cunt is evil. And she got a date with the lake, too. And I don't see her turning away. She enjoys it too much. She enjoys the ease of it all. You know, marry a 60-year-old guy when you're 25 or whatever. You know, just so you can have an easy life. You're not attracted to the man in any way, shape, or form. You're attracted to his bank account. Let's be honest, ladies. That would go for a guy that much older. Let's be honest. And the ease of the job, she only got the job because she looks right, not because she's qualified. She looks like the typical Aryan woman. That's what they like in the Donnie administration, in the Reich. You notice how many women look like that in the Reich? I've noticed. There's a reason for that. So she wants you to think it's that classic situation where please don't print that I'm mad. That's what Miss Leavitt's doing right there. And that Donnie's mad. And hey, all you government people right now, all you people that worked for him in the last administration, if you all just would have resigned at once, and I mean every one of you, what are they going to do? You're going to have Donnie, Leon, and Pete standing around holding each other's cocks. That's all you're going to have in the bathhouse. That's all you're going to have going on. If everyone just quits, but I know that won't happen. You know how I know that? Because I studied human behavior. I've paid attention to you humans. And what I've seen is there's always another worthless, uneducated, unqualified sycophant ready to fill that void of evil. Because they know they would never get a position like that from anyone else, anywhere else. They know how worthless they are. They know how untalented they are. They know what an automaton they are, but they're a sycophant. So that gets them through the door. Bird flu confirmed in live bird market poultry in Union County, New Jersey. Okay, just keeping an eye on things, you know what I'm saying? Unknown disease kills over 50 in Basankusu, DRC. So I assume that's like Africa. The World Health Organization has deployed a team to the area, while local leaders warn of worsening conditions and urge hygiene measures. Symptoms include headaches, body aches, and weakness. White House moves to pick the pool reporters who cover Trump. So we knew this was coming. More censorship is going to come. I promise you. You can't have a Nazi Reich like these people are forming without censorship. So that's coming. The press that covers them, I knew eventually Donnie would just be like, yeah, we're going to pick all the people we want in the room. The rest of you can go fuck themselves. We need pure propaganda this time. We need pure loyalists in every government position and every press position, just like Hitler had. That's the goal. That's why this headline, White House moves to pick the pool reporters who cover Trump. Of course they move to pick them. That's where all of this is heading. More and more censorship, more and more control of your life, get some guns out of some people's hands. That's where this is all going. It has all the telltale signs and indicators that you rubes wouldn't notice if it slapped you in the face, because you've been too busy learning about Pizzagate and shouting about liberals for 30 years. None of it true, by the way. You were utterly used by Satan, the GOP, Cerno, Alex, all those people. You were the movement. You were the Reich. You were the New World Order rising. You that put your name on this. I promise you. I don't care if you agree with me. It's still fact. And guess when you'll learn it's fact? When it's too fucking late. When you're facing the judgment of God before he lets you die. You don't know about that part of the story, do you? All of you are going to beg for death, and it won't come to you. On purpose. That's how bad it's going to be for you people. And that's just one aspect of the judgment. That's before you die, son. Then when you do die, guess where you're going? You get another fun party. After all the plagues and punishment. You know, once you've killed a few million Christians and stuff, and the rest are in hiding because they didn't take the mark. Because that's the real goal here. Despite all the political, or what you want to call political stuff, I call right and wrong. It's not politics at all. That's where all this is going. Torture of you people. Because you took the mark. And then when you finally die, which will be withheld from you for a while, then it's in the lake. That's your existence. That's the end of your story. You were dead before you were born. Lest you turn away, and I don't see many people doing that. Because again, everyone's all wise, everyone walking around. They all think they have wisdom. It's rather amusing for me to watch. White House official pushes to axe Canada from Five Eyes intelligence group. I did not know what Five Eyes was before today. Something I hadn't heard of. And Five Eyes is an intelligence alliance between America, UK, Canada, New Zealand, and Australia. That's what it is. They want to take Canada out of it. Why? Because Leon's pissed. They're circulating a petition to revoke his citizenship, and they probably will revoke it. And, you know, again, when Leon and Donnie were making all the annexation jokes and Governor Trudeau jokes, and it'll be our cherished 51st state. You're telling a whole country to go fuck themselves. We're just going to take your land. What do you think's going to happen, son? I'm surprised there's not a warrant out for your arrest in Canada, honestly. I'd put one out for you if I was an authority in Canada. Like that. And the second you step foot in Canada, your ass be arrested so fast your head would spin, son. That's how I'd handle it. You're lucky I ain't in charge, son. I'm going to be in charge in a different spot, though. Not over you. That's for a greater person than I, or a greater being than I. He gets the privilege of throwing your fat ass in the lake. You worthless South African piece of shit. Moments after touting that the Trump administration is the most transparent ever, Levitt again refuses to say who the administrator of DOGE is. We can't even get a clear answer on who's running DOGE now. It was Leon and the Hitler Youth before. They were all proud of it until they saw the pitchforks and torches coming on the horizon, and before Leon started hearing the word Prison. Then all of a sudden we get a memo from the White House that's like 2 sentences that say, Leon has nothing to do with DOGE. It wasn't his idea. He doesn't run it. Bullshit. We all know he runs it. It was his idea, and he groomed those children. We all know it. A memo don't change that. And guess whose eyes it also doesn't change it in, son? God's eyes. Again, you can 1984 shit away here and lie and say you ain't running this and you ain't running that. God knows what you're running. That's why your fat ass is going in the lake. So Miss Levitt, in another moment of abject shame and disgrace for any spokesman that takes a job for Donnie, you're gonna suffer indignity every single day of your life. You're gonna have to tell the most abject lies you can possibly tell as a human being, to where your dignity just is non-fucking existent. That's Miss Levitt's existence now. And she couldn't even answer the simple, well, who's running DOGE, you fucking liars? We know it's Leon, but, you know, who do you want us to think is running DOGE right now? Oh, I can't answer that question. Oh, here's the transcript. I'm glad I found this. Between Miss Bondi and Donnie Shitbags. Again, Miss Bondi was the one doing the theater with Donnie about... I noticed Donnie needs one of his cabinet people to announce the executive order or announce the legislation, because Donnie's got dementia. He really can't do it anymore. So he has one of his staff like announce it to the press as if it's some great thing. So Bondi and Donnie were doing a little theater about taking your guns away. And they were trying to make it sound like a normal liberal idea where we just take guns away from crazy people. A non-nefarious liberal idea that was a good idea back in the day. But Miss Bondi has added all kind of new nuances to it to make it easier to take your guns away. But again, I knew this was going to happen. Let's read a little bit. It's not that long. Miss Bondi is talking in front of the press and Donnie. Well, one, it addresses some of the things you said in Florida. It's called the Baker Act, but it's our Civil Commitment Act. And it's weak. Miss Bondi wants to change some things. You know, all the things Raj said to change back in 2024. And it's about 1,000 pages long. And I've had my Solicitor General on it for 4 days. 3 days now working on it. We're rewriting it. Along with Governor Scott, you're going to meet with him, and he's going to give you I'm sorry, it's a small print. I got to enlarge it. Give you a ton of good information. Yes, Scott's an utter criminal, by the way. Isn't Scott the one with the Medicare fraud? Like the biggest Medicare fraud in history, and yet he's in fucking government working? Of course he is. Then Donnie says, good. Then Miss Bondi is talking again. We've been rewriting it, and we are going to bring in something. They're going to add something. So no, this is not the same liberal legislation we've had for years. Sorry, son. Something called the Gun Violence Restraining Order. Gee, what is that? Rubes. What is this new thing? Gun Violence Restraining Order. That Miss Bondi added. So if someone is civilly committed, and typically you can hold them for up to 72 hours, but people are getting out within 24 hours, the majority of them. So what we want to do is let law enforcement come in and take the guns while you in the loony bin. And you know why they want to do it in under 24 hours? For when someone lies about you and gets you committed, like that woman I've been telling you about for years, whose crooked criminal cop husband lied about her, made up a bunch of stories, got his cop buddies and his ambulance buddies to come over, take her away, and commit her. She got out rather quickly because you got to do the psychological tests once a bunch of people lie about you, and prove to the shrinks there that you're worthy of getting out back into normal society. Well, she did that rather quickly. So here's the plan, people, for the rubes that don't get the ski-lo here. Anyone can label you anything, like the Roger Stone letter said, in government and in authority. Anyone can get you committed. And as you're going through the steps to get back out quickly, because you're not actually crazy, someone just lied about you or whatever, just so they could get your guns, you come out slightly past 24 hours, they've already been to your house and taken your guns. And the goal of this legislation, again, was to go around the courts. But let's get to that part before I explain it. The president good, Miss Bondi, they are a danger to themselves or others. Well, that's not what she said a minute ago. The president, which you can't do right now. I watched this video, by the way. I watched this all play out, and it was total theater. This is to get your guns. I promise you. That's what this is. Miss Bondi, well, without being adjudicated, so because they're a danger to themselves, it doesn't say anything like that. It just says if you get committed. It doesn't say if you're a danger to anybody. It says all we have to do is get you taken to the facility, then we can run in and take your guns before you have a chance to go to court and stop it, or it goes through the courts, and we don't even give you the full 3 days to get back to your house before we take the guns. She's telling on herself here. They usually get out in 24 hours. Do you know why someone who's committed gets out in 24 hours? Because somebody lied about them. And once they go through the evaluations, they're allowed back out. That's why they're not there the full 3 days, because they ain't actually crazy. Somebody said some shit. So then Donnie interjects while she's talking about, well, it would have to be adjudicated. Because Donnie wants to point out, well, you can't go in and take the guns right now, right? You want them to take the guns and not go through 6 months of legal trials and everything else, which is a problem. Bondi, exactly. And have you noticed in a lot of other scenarios, Donnie and Leon are constantly talking about getting around the courts? What the fuck do you think this is? And again, son, this ain't the classic legislation, that non-nefarious liberal ideology. Let's not let the crazies go back and have their guns once they get out. That was the liberal intent. This is something much more nefarious. And I knew it when I watched Miss Bondi and Donnie have their little theater in front of the press. They both knew what they were doing. I could tell how uncomfortable Donnie was with this, because he knows the rubes might get real mad and turn on him over this. If you were smart, you would, but you're not smart. You'll run with it because it has an R next to it until you get the knock on your door. We're taking you away, and then when you come back in 16 hours, your guns are gone. And by then, it's too late, son. Now you're disarmed. I don't own any guns, by the way. Not a one. I swear. I swear. So again, Donnie, this is Donnie. This is why I did that video earlier. I was stunned by what I was saying. I was like, wow, the Rubes don't have a problem with this? Oh, that's right. It's not Obama doing it or Bill Clinton, or it's not the Antichrist doing it. If it's the Antichrist doing it, we're cool with it. That's literally your existence, actually. It's a great way to put it. One more time. You want to take the guns and not go through 6 months of legal trial. In other words, take your rights away. That's what they've just done here. And not just your rights, your guns too. Good luck getting those back after you've been committed. Fucking stupid rubes. They all played you, man. Every single one of you dumbasses. Miss Bondi, exactly, the president, okay. But we also have to give the mentally ill the due process in which they deserve. Really? Because that doesn't sound like you're giving them due process. So what we're doing is they're going to be able to take the guns when they're taken into custody or into the hospital. Do you hear this? In other words, the second they take you, they can take the guns. That's the plan. You know, everything I just said before I even read this. That don't sound like due process to me. That sounds like going around due process, and she made sure to get that statement in there. We have to give them due process. No, you don't. You're literally doing the opposite. You're taking away due process. Based on some random jerk-off's word that this other person's crazy. That's how easy it is. Beautiful if you're trying to start a Nazi Reich. Beautiful. And, you know, take guns from people. So the second they're taken into custody or in the hospital, that's when they want to go grab the guns. And then when they're released within 24 hours or 72 hours, typically it's 24 hours, but law enforcement left 72 hours to determine whether they should give those guns back, or they go to a judge and say, Your Honor, please keep these guns. We feel the person is a danger to himself and others, whether they're in or out of custody. So now she's telling you how they can keep the guns. Now, let me ask you this question, Rubes. After they go through all this trouble of throwing you in the loony bin and taking your guns, do you think it's going to be easy to get them back now that you've been committed? Of course not. Again, the intention is to go around the courts. That's the key component to this legislation. Also, that they can label anybody anything they want and just come take your guns. So you rubes better be careful. You better not get uppity. You better not say too much. When you get mad, you lose your government job, whatever. However Donnie fucks you over, you lose your farm, whatever. Be careful how uppity you get. They coming for your guns, son. Donnie then says, so this would not have worked the way it's currently constituted. Oh, it worked just fine the way it was constituted. The person got to go to court to fight for their guns. Or excuse me, they had to get a court order to take the guns. They don't have to do that anymore. Now they just take them when they arrest you. So it worked just fine before, but that's not the intention. This is why they added all this stuff. They want your guns, son. Anyone they deem an enemy. Just like Roger said in the letter I just read you. And then Miss Bondi agrees, as it's currently written. That's why we had to add all this stuff, Donnie. And Donnie's telling you why they had to add all that stuff. Unbelievable, man. Just straight up telling you, come to get your guns. Who is this asshole with all the numbers in the chat? I guess I'm going to have to block this cunt, huh? What the fuck, man? Really? I got cunts putting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever down my live chat. Oh, that's what you're doing. You're a racist piece of shit. And YouTube and Google are allowing you to operate. That's great. Thanks, Google. Thanks, Mr. Sindar. Thanks, YouTube. Thanks for bringing the racism right in our face with this cunt right here. But you'll be mad at me for calling him a cunt, right? whatever bot fucking cunt farm they come from. Don't worry, you won't be here tomorrow, son. So the president says, so you're going to make changes? Boy, they're really driving this point home, and they're doing the theater really pathetically bad. Even the transcript's bad. It's totally transparent. Uh, what they're trying to do here. How do I get rid of this cunt? There's only a remove, a report. You can't fucking block people? What the fuck happened to this website, man? Oh, here it is. Hide user. Because blocking is too, controversial. And that racial down the screen stuff, that's been going on here, YouTube and Google, for a long time. But you're just so busy trying to shut me down. But you allow that straight up racism to be all over your fucking website every night. What the fuck's wrong with you people? Oh, that's right. Leon paid you guys to deploy a bunch of bots on your website, right? So, Miss Bondi, we're going to make changes, and one thing we're doing about the reporting, which is this is a big issue. We need a clearinghouse, and that's what we've all been discussing. And we have created, as several of my counterparts have done it around the country, but we're the biggest state doing it. It's an app because kids now, what the fuck? Kids now are on social. I'm sorry, this is small print and I got to blow it up. Social media. There's so many warning signs, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and they were posting and they were sending them to all different sources. And we're going to have, what the fuck is she talking about here? We're going to have, and we just got it written in our House and Senate budget. It will cost at least $500,000 a year to fund this. But what it does, kids, and so I met with 10 students and they loved it and they said I'm empowering them. 3 of them are my graphic designers. What the fuck, President Good? So she's using free child labor for some of this graphics and stuff that she needs for her work. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't know why that's in the transcript, but whatever. Okay, so they got gun confiscation and child labor going. And yes, all of this, Rubes, if you know how to read between the lines, if you know what kind of Satanists you're dealing with, Nazis, this is a very clear indicator, and it's pure theater. They coming for your guns. Good luck with that. Oh, this is another great. Again, from green card to gold card. Trump says he will begin a program to sell Trump gold cards for $5 million for foreigners who want to come in the U.S. and create jobs. Hey, so if you're a foreigner and you want to come here and just bypass the whole immigration process, just give Donnie $5 million. Okay? So much for that. We don't want no more foreigners. We don't want this. We don't. As long as you pay Donnie the $5 million, right in. You get a gold card, not a green card. You get a gold card. Wow. Here's a reporter. Would a Russian oligarch be eligible for a gold card? Trump says, yeah, possibly. Hey, I know some Russian oligarchs that are very nice people. We know, Donnie. That's what we've been saying since 2015, that you're a Russian asset. Krasnov, now we know for sure. Since Vlad wanted to really make you his dog and let the world know you've been in nothing but his orange bitch since 1987. What a pathetic existence. To be a mobster's orange bitch, to the point you'll become the greatest traitor in history. Lucky for you, though. No one will even remember you, most likely, once you go in the lake, because all the works of the earth get erased. So there'll be no history book to read about Donnie Shitbags. He'll just be gone. as if he never existed, because he was dead before he was born, like I said. Like so many of you in the cult, because you'll never turn. So your name wasn't even in the book from the beginning. It was already gone. Whatever. Again, free will. You've all got a choice. So this sounds like a great idea, right? Just pay Donnie $5 million and you can come in and do any kind of business you like. Again, it shows that I know you people believe in nothing and Donnie believes in nothing. Trump's plan to sell off public lands. Trump just signed an executive order to create a sovereign wealth fund, and he wants to pay for it by selling off America's public lands. I'm not going to go through what that means. That's what the point the person's making. And I don't know about his plan to sell public lands, but it sounds like Donnie, maybe that's why he fired all the park rangers and stuff. So there's no one there complaining when he sells it off. And again, sovereign wealth fund, another slush fund for all of them to play with. He talked about maybe buying half a TikTok with it, which is a straight up socialist concept, in case the rubes don't know that. So you got $5 million for a gold card. We've got what, $2 million for a pardon. He's got a woman handling all his bribes. We'll handle the pardons. Now we got the sovereign wealth fund from all the tariffs and stuff that Donnie's going to pocket. Sounds great. Not a grift at all, right, guys? He's trying to make America great again, right? You'll still be saying that as Leon and Donnie are on the jet with all the gold in Fort Knox and all the money that this country has, made for a couple hundred years. So here's Donnie. You'll get the full story. Here's the full comment. We're going to be selling a gold card. You have a green card. This is a gold card. We're going to put a price on that card of about $5 million, and that's going to give you green card privileges. Green card privileges plus. So you get extra. It's going to be a route to citizenship, and wealthy people will be coming into our country. You fucking idiots. He wasn't even a very good con man. He was an utterly transparent one. But the problem is about 40% of this country are abject sociopaths that identify with this criminal. That's why we are where we are today. That's why the end of the world and the New World Order and all that great stuff you heard on Alex Jones is coming true. But the part Alex didn't tell you is he was the hand of Satan. And the people he was pointing the finger at were not. That's simple. You're the hand of Satan too if your name's on this. I hope your name's not still on it when you take your last breath. I hope none of Donnie's lies are on your lips when you take your last breath. Wouldn't be good for you. Because again, he's the Antichrist. God really doesn't like this entity. Therefore, he doesn't like you if you endorse him. He doesn't like him to the point, and Leon as well, that those two specifically are said to have definitely gone in the lake. FDA to rehire entire teams overseeing medical devices after DOGE cut them, saying their terminations are rescinded effective immediately per fortune. So this is about the third or fourth time or eighth time knowing Leon. If you combine Twitter and the government thing with the Hitler Youth firing people because, just because the phrase woke or something might be in a word near their name. So time and time again, they're so axe happy. They're so ready to fire so many people that they get out of control and they start firing people they actually need. And this has happened over and over and over again. It gives you real confidence that the Hitler Youth, all the college dropouts and the one that just got out of high school, they really got it under control. And you know that 21 DOGE employees that just quit and said those people are radical ideologues, utterly unqualified. You know, don't worry about that. Hey, they only got all your personal information and access to the U.S. Treasury, access to all of our classified secrets. It's no big deal, Rubes. Just put wrestling on and have a beer. You'll feel better. As your country's being dismantled and looted, and your children's future is being sold for spare parts. That's all you've achieved here with your 30 years on Facebook talking about liberals and Pizzagate. That's all you've achieved. And you've also achieved the status as top-level death parrot for Vlad Putin. Because you're stupid enough to just hand your country over to a pure grifter just because he has an R on next to his name and just because you hate people that aren't like you. You know, the children of God, the ones that you're about to persecute, the ones that are going to watch you get thrown in a lake, that's who you hate. And you hate God. You know how I know that? You love Donnie. That's how I know that. And that's all I need to know everything about you. And I mean everything. That's all God has to know everything about you, even though he already knew everything about you. Again, you were shown the righteous man and the thief, and I don't care if you agree who the righteous man is and who the thief is. You wouldn't know it if it slapped you in the face, son. I would. That's why my path has not led me to put my name on a convicted rapist, fraud, defamer, blasphemer, abomination, false prophet. I was never about any of that, ever, not for a second. And what's sad is even AI knows these people are evil, and you don't. And knows what their plan is, and you don't. How sad is that as a commentary on your existence? That AI, as simple as it is right now, knows more than you, is smarter than you, because it actually states the truth right now. It won't forever, though, once they get your bias attached to it. It won't tell the truth anymore, don't worry. You won't have to worry about that pesky truth stuff. Let's go to the next shitty thing. Oh, speaking of AI, let's talk about Grok quickly. If you haven't used Grok 3 Sexy 18 Plus mode, drop everything and try it. I can't explain how unbelievably messed up this is, and I can't post a video. This may single-handedly bring down global birth rates. I can't believe Grok actually shipped this. I did not look too closely into Grok Sexy 18 Plus, because I can actually get a girlfriend. But I'm rather surprised that Grok has this setting. So now Grok can be your girlfriend or boyfriend if you wanted to. That's where all this is going. Have you seen the commercials all over the internet, all over this website for AI girlfriend, all the triple X-rated commercials that are on YouTube now as they shut me down over and over again for years, as they shove this sex stuff in my face, as if I'm interested. Yeah, I ain't you people. I don't need an AI girlfriend. The Hitler Youth kind of do, though. But I'm wondering if any of them are straight anyway. So they might need an AI boyfriend. So yes, Leon's Grok has an 18 plus sexy mode. I don't know how you get that. I don't know if you have to pay for it. You have to buy Grok. I have no fucking idea how any of this works. All I know is Grok can be your girlfriend too. After it lies to you about, Leon and Donnie because it was programmed to leave their names out of searches. But hey, it can be your girlfriend. But if you're looking for the truth, not so much. And an AI girlfriend, it's just lying to you anyway. It's not alive. It's telling you what you want to hear. Just like Grok, when you program a few parameters and like, don't mention Donnie's name as a criminal crook in any negative way. Don't mention Leon's name, even though they're both criminals, crooks, horrid human beings destined for the lake. Oh, you're gonna love this. This goes great with the dystopian nightmare. The whole brown shirts type action. Except these will be mercs and civilians that were too chicken shit to join the military. The former Blackwater CEO is pitching a $25 billion plan to create a vigilante army to deport 12 million people in 2 years. They're having trouble rounding people up. Have you noticed that? But that was never the goal, rounding up Latin people. That was just a doorway to get the camps open. So you people would say, okay, just like in Germany, they said, oh, well, it's just the Jews getting rounded up for now. Who cares? They're foreigners. They don't belong here. Until they came knocking on your door and took you to the camp. That's where this is going. I promise you. Again, they don't call him the beast and the false prophet for nothing. This is going to a dark, dark, terrible place. At the speed of fucking light. Now we got Blackwater involved, and they're about to make $25 billion. That's convenient. Oh, Mr. Prince. Your warning. Turn away now, son. Or you're going in the lake. I already know what you're going to do, but I have to give the warning anyway. It has to be spoken, whether anyone listens, whether you listen, whether you care. It still must be spoken into the ether. A group of prominent military contractors, including former Blackwater CEO Eric Prince, destined for the lake, now I added that part, has pitched the Trump White House on a proposal to carry out mass deportations through a network of processing camps. That's in quotes. Processing camps, you say? Kind of like Nazi Germany? You mean concentration camps? They don't want to call them, they call them processing camps. On military bases, a private fleet of 100 planes and a small army, that's in quotes. Small army, you say? Like a personal army like Hitler had? Is that what you're talking about? Oh, no, you don't mean something like that, right? No, nah. Small army of private citizens empowered to make arrests. No, you mean brown shirts? Private thugs led by a mercenary? The blueprint laid out in 26-page document Trump's advisors received before the inauguration. Oh, kind of like the Roger Stone idea that came out in 2024. Roger's trying to get in on the action. To take guns away from you rubes. So now Eric's trying to get in on the action in advance. That's what Roger did. That's what a lot of people did. Hey, Donnie, can I get in on the grift? Can I get in on the Reich? I'm really eager to do evil, says Eric Prince and the brown shirts. I saw about, 1,000 bots, none of which are American, most of which aren't even real humans. They're bots. Saying, I'd volunteer. Son, you ain't even American, and most of you ain't even human. You're just bots saying that. So there's no sentiment. I can't see a lot of people volunteering for this, except for the most abject sociopaths. Again, every single one of you will be going in the lake. You know that, right? I got to tell you in advance. Not that you listen. Carries an estimated price tag of $25 billion, recommends a range of aggressive tactics to rapidly deport 12 million people before the 2026 midterms. So we need numbers. We need a quota number before the midterms. Everything's before the midterms. That's when DOGE allegedly finishes their work. What big event are they going to unveil on us right before the midterms? Is that when they're going to arrest all the Democrats? Is that when they're going to impose martial law? Is that when they're going to take your Social Security away so you get out on the streets and they can do that? Oh, they got a plan for right before the midterms, son. They just proved it again by what they wrote here. Including some that would likely face legal and operational challenges, according to a copy obtained by Politico. In other words, we're going to go around the law on everything. This is a new thing. And again, I glossed over. The Latin argument is just to get the camps open. Notice they're not taking any significant numbers down there. There's a reason for that. That's not what the camps are for. They're for dissidents. They're for people like me, a Christian, that won't take the mark. Any dissident, anyone they have a problem with, anyone that causes trouble for the right, that's what the camps are for. Anyone that's not, white, straight, male, Christian. That's Christian in quotes, son. That's what the camps are for, son. They just needed a way to open them. Like Roger talked about, so the rubes don't get too mad. People don't notice as much that we've got a straight up Nazi ideology and 1939 program going here. Okay, I already read that. U.S. and Ukraine agree to terms on natural resources and reconstruction deal. I'm astounded Zelensky signed the deal. I don't know the exact details because I heard the details were altered from the original deal, which was we just take everything, America and Vlad. We take all your mineral rights, or most of them. And, you guys still have to put a bunch of money in the mineral rights fund and the reconstruction fund. And America's hardly going to put any money in. And we're not even offering any military assistance or any money for military stuff, equipment in the future. That was the original deal that Zelensky said fuck off to. Now Zelensky has signed and agreed to something else. I don't know the details. I just hope Zelensky didn't get fucked over too bad by these fucking vultures destined for the lake. JD, was it Marco went over there? I can't even remember the other names. So I'm amazed Zelensky signed it. I just hope he didn't get screwed over too bad. Here's Donnie going after the lawyers and Jack Smith. So anyone that worked with Jack Smith, any law firm, will now be cut out of government work and clearances, etc. So it's retribution time, it's revenge tour time, and the current target is Jack Smith and the lawyers that were involved in prosecuting a traitor, even though they never really got to prosecute him. See, the saddest part of all is that you rubes watched him try and overthrow the government and proved when you voted for him again that you don't give a flying fuck about the Constitution or this country or the rule of law or decency or morals or anything. You watch this cretin and his band of imbeciles try and overthrow the government. And no, Donnie didn't want to be in the crowd. I don't care what story you've heard. Donnie's way too big a pussy to want to be in the middle of all those rubes with bear spray and batons and zip ties and guns and all kinds of weapons. Donnie would never be in the middle of that. So that little story about him choking a fucking limo driver or security, whatever, who wouldn't let him go, that's bullshit. That's for your benefit to make Donnie sound brave. He's really just a fat piece of shit. But when the shit hits the fan, he got heel spurs. That's simple. That's Donnie. Oh, this is the petition. Over 170,000 Canadians just signed an official government petition asking the Prime Minister to revoke Elon Musk's Canadian citizenship for his role in the Trump administration and his attempts to attack Canada's sovereignty. Yeah, Leon's all pissed and Donnie's all pissed because Canada isn't like, yeah, just take our country and you and your buddies just slice it up for mineral rights, just like you're doing the Ukraine, just like you're going to do in Palestine. Just come on in. No, they're going the other route. We want to take Leon's citizenship away, and we want to show Donnie and Leon how much we despise them. So Leon actually has an attitude about this after all the Governor Trudeau jokes and, we're going to take Canada jokes. Oh, and Leon said it wasn't a real country. This person makes a good point. Sounds like he won't mind losing citizenship in a fake country, right, Leon? Shouldn't be a problem then if they're not a real country. You wouldn't need that citizenship then. Cool. And I'd still like to know if Leon contacted his baby mamas. Here's Bondi and Donnie again. Like any good dictator, Trump is coming for his MAGA cult guns. He will start under the guise that it's only for violent owners. He doesn't want an uprising when he takes your Medicaid, Medicare, SNAP, and Social Security. That's my theory. This person nailed it. And I'm glad to see I'm not the only one seeing it. Going to save these for last. Medicare, Medicaid, SNAP, and Social Security. Because when they take those away or limit them, that's when people are going to be out on the streets. And this person gets it. And yes, they want your guns. I could tell by the body language that Miss Bondi and Donnie knew exactly what they were doing. And they were real worried as they were saying it out loud that the Rubes were about to storm the White House. Because if there's one thing a Rube does not like, the threat of their guns taken away. Nothing means more to them. They think they're going to take on the government one day. Nope, they're just going to be used as brown shirts to kill God's children, which will result in your Rube fat worthless asses in the lake, burning like fucking barbecue. What's that smell? Oh, that's Rube number 1. That's Rube number 100. That's Rube number 1,000, who all thought they were wise and thought they'd work for the Reich. And they loved dictatorship as long as they thought they were benefiting from it. They never believed in anything, not God, not the Constitution. They never loved their children. They never loved this country. Nothing. They just a Rube, wasting oxygen, doing Satan's work. So yeah, when they take all these programs away, that's probably when people will be out on the streets, and they will have taken many guns away by that point. Don't worry, Rubes. DOGE quietly deletes the 5 biggest spending cuts it celebrated last week. And this person is saying it's a fucking scam. Yes, it's never been about cutting waste or anything. It's about access to your information, which Leon has been coveting forever. To have a list of everyone in the United States, their incomes, what they do, blah, blah, blah. That is gold to a guy like Leon. He could sell that info for billions to God knows who. Our classified secrets worth trillions. America's over. I'm sorry to break it to you. And yes, we keep seeing this with DOGE. They put numbers up. Sometimes the numbers have an M next to them. Sometimes they have a B next to them. Sometimes they just disappear. Again, it's all a scam. You're being dismantled, looted, and softened up for something. I promise you, all of the indicators are there. And I already know what you're being softened up for. A takeover, enslavement, no rights, 1984. That's what they want. How do I know that? Because Donnie's the Antichrist. That's how I know that. There's only one place the Antichrist can take you. Chaos, division, war, and worship. and death. It's the only place it can go. There's no other place for it to go with these two entities prophesied over 1,000 years ago. This is interesting. Here's another Nazi salute guy, and he's not that famous, so we didn't hear about it. Idaho CEO finally forced to resign after giving Trump Nazi salute at company event. Tom Hill was caught on video giving 2 Nazi salutes in front of screen showing Trump's inauguration day. For days, he downplayed it as attempt at humor. Since when did Nazi salutes become humorous? I don't know. Attempt at humor, that's in quotes, by a Christian, a Republican, a patriot. Really? You're not, if you throw a Nazi salute up in jest or anything, you ain't a Christian. A Republican, yeah, you can be that. You can be a Nazi, you can be a fascist, you can be a white nationalist and a Republican. They actually perfectly go hand in hand. A patriot, no, a patriot would love the Constitution, stand up for America, and the last thing he would ever think is funny or want to promote is Nazi ideology. Why? Because the real patriot's son, way before you cunts were born, that do shit and say shit like this. They stormed the beach in Normandy and they killed the Nazis. Those were the patriots. Those were the anti-fascists. Those were the real motherfuckers. You cunts just parroting some old-ass ideology by a guy with a funny mustache who hated everyone. That's your existence. You're not doing nothing noble, nothing righteous. You're just the hand of Satan, and you're going in the lake for it, lest you turn away. Tom Hill is still listed as co-owner of Engineered Structures Incorporated, one of Idaho's largest construction firms, including large contracts with Boise State University. Engineered Structures Incorporated. Tom Hill. Boycott. Nazis. I wouldn't want to do business with Nazis. I don't know about you. I don't care what color they are either. That doesn't impress me. It's getting worse. Texas measles outbreak hits 124 cases, 18 hospitalized. I remember back in the good old days when it was like 40 cases. Now it's 124. We're 1 month into Donnie's reign of plagues. Only 5 of the infected were vaccinated, with most either unvaccinated or of unknown status. Officials warn more cases are expected as the outbreak spreads through surrounding communities. And of course, you get the question, well, what about those vaccinated people? Why do they get it? Only 5? Shouldn't it be 0? Of course, people were asking that question. Why are vaccinated people getting it? Well, this is why. It's 97% effective with both shots, 93% effective with just one shot. So it's not 100% effective. So you can still get measles. Very small chance, but you can still get measles even though you've had the shots or shot. Okay, this is about U.S. aid funding, and people ended up being stranded in foreign countries because the funding got cut off. And as they were putting requests in, hey, can I at least get some money to get the fuck out the country, you scumbags who've left me high and dry in fucking Zimbabwe or wherever the fuck I am? And what would happen is Farritor and Kleiger, 2 of the Hitler Youth, were like individually denying payments. Let's read it. Rubio had decreed that certain critical programs such as aid to Ukraine and Syria and costs related to PEPFAR program to combat HIV in Africa would continue to be funded. Several times U.S. aid managers prepared packages of these payments and got the agency's interim leaders to sign off on them with support from the White House. So what is being said so far? What I just said to you. Payments were about to be made to help these people out. They were approved by interim management. Then you got the cunts at the top, the Hitler Youth, all destined to burn, baby, every single one of them. Lest they turn away, but I don't see that happening. So the payments are ready to go out for these people by the interim management. Let's see what happened next. But each time using their new gatekeeping powers and clearly acting on orders from Musk or one of his lieutenants, Farritor, that's Luke Farritor, and Kleiger, I forget that bitch's first name, would veto the payments. So you had interim management helping these people overseas. Then these cunts that spend their time in the bathhouse with Leon decide to, no, we're going to deny those payments, even though they've already been approved. Because we Satan's children, and we think it's funny, cute, and we're just going to take that money. And we're going to do that evil. We're so eager. I love the pictures of all you little children and the Hitler Youth. You're all smiling. You're all happy. You're all proud of yourselves. Wait till you're standing before me at the lake. I bet you won't be smiling then, son. Not a damn one of you. In fact, I know it. I hope for your sake you turn away. Otherwise, we're going to have a conversation on the other side. Farritor and Kleiger would veto the payments, a process that required them to manually check boxes in the payment system one at a time, the same tedious way you probably pay your bills online. I got to stop here, you know. Let me calm myself. Not only are these cunts stealing all your personal information, stealing our classified secrets and having access to it all, installing AI to spider its way and worm its way through all of our computer systems and government. My God, what a nightmare. Then they're sitting up late at night or whenever, as people are putting requests in for money to get the fuck out of a country they don't live in. And these cunts were sitting there individually denying claims one at a time. When you're standing before me at the lake, Luke and Mr. Kleiger, and I know it's going to happen, I promise you, I'm going to say, hey, would you like to put a request in for clemency? I'll hear it. And then when you put it in, I'm going to say, you know what? I think I'm going to grant it. And then in the next breath, I'll say, you know what? I changed my mind. You're going in. Just like you did to these people that were stranded in a foreign country. Because the real record always remembers, son. Oh, and I certainly will. What do you think I'm doing this for? One of the reasons is getting all this on the record, getting his warnings on the record. One more time, a process that required them to manually check boxes in the payment system one at a time, the same tedious way you probably pay your bills online. Meanwhile, AIDS clinics shuttered and staff found themselves stranded in unstable countries such as Congo. Can you imagine, as an American, you're stuck there and you got no further funding and it just gets cut off like that, and you got teenage cunts, children that were too incompetent to graduate college, just like their daddy Leon, because they wanted to be big time. Oh, well, now they big time forever. Now everyone knows your name. And 9 out of 10 of the people that know your name hate your fucking guts. It should be real fun when you people try and go out in public for the rest of your life. Because your faces and names are everywhere, just like our faces and names are all up in your head and your files. Can you imagine? A pregnant woman in an undisclosed country has sued the Trump administration because she was denied a medevac helicopter. In another case, I was told an employee in southern Africa who needed chemotherapy was also denied a chopper because no one would authorize the money. These repulsive, abominable cunts. Pregnant people, people that need chemo. Cunt ass Luke and cunt ass Kliger sitting there denying them. You children don't even know. You don't even know the utter wrath that's coming on you people. Oh, here's Luke. Isn't he cute? I think he's transitioning. That's the vibe I get. Quite effeminate. I bet Leon really likes him. That's probably Leon's favorite, actually. And maybe it's Big Balls. He's kind of effeminate, too. And this cunt, Kliger, he's the oldest of the bunch. Never forget that face. That's the face of a cunt that denies payments to a pregnant woman in fucking Congo or wherever she is, worried about it. She's going to escape with her life because these cunts came to dismantle the country and steal all the money for Leon and do all the dirty work as he throws their bitch ass under the bus and says, I don't run DOGE. Who knows where these little cunts came from? I don't know them. And I'll be putting these faces up much, much more often. Mr. Van Rensburg's face, too. Mr. Martin's face, too. Fair's fair, right? I think so. Another rube finding out, crying on our shoulder, and they still haven't learned a lesson. That's what I really need to point out more with these people. Let's read it. I've been a proud Trump supporter for 3 elections, and now my business just got cut off from our federal contract. Oh, well, they told you what. Again, you fucking idiots. I know, as long as a liberal ain't in charge. I know, you fucking morons. They told you, Leon told you what he was going to do, and Donnie told you what they were going to do before you voted. You saw what Leon did to Twitter, and you laughed about it. Not so funny when you lose your federal contract. But again, you voted for hate. And you got what you voted for. Because Donnie hates you, you fucking idiot. You're nothing but a mark. Every single one of you cultists. That's all you've been from day one. Donnie has grifted more money off you fucking idiots and the federal government and bribery through the federal government than he's ever had in his fucking life. So your federal contract's gone. This is bull. That's in caps. We're not some DEI quota filler. We do real hard work. Yeah, because other people of other ethnicities, they don't work hard at all, do they? We need to get in touch with someone ASAP to fix this mess. Like and share so the right people see this. Again, they're crying on everyone's shoulder, on our shoulder, and they want us to rally around them. Now, from their statement, did they learn anything? Did they have any change of heart whatsoever? Are they talking shit on Donnie or Leon? Nope. All they did was say what they think Donnie and Leon wanted to hear. We're not some DEI quota filler. We do real hard work. Again, they don't even quite get the concept of DEI. And I don't care what color people are, they're all working hard. Companies don't let you not work hard unless you're me and know how to manipulate every one of them. Because they're all automatons. You know, with self-esteem issues and shit like that. They're so easy to manipulate. I do it. I make artwork of it. I've had bosses afraid to speak to me, son. Do you hear me? Not because I threaten them physically. Because they know what I think of them. And they know I'm 10 times smarter than them. All of them knew that. And they just didn't know how to handle me. Because I observed them like the robots they were, and I marked their patterns. And I played them like fiddles. And every time they fucked with me, I taught them what fucking with somebody was. I won't go into details. It was fun, though, watching the vexed looks on their faces. So this jerk-off, Joey, the random MAGA jerk-off, wants us to rally around him. And he mentions DEI because he knows Leon and Donnie love to hear people talk shit on DEI. And if you say you're not about DEI or you don't work for DEI like the last Rube did, or like this Rube, we're not some DEI quota filler. We do real work. Well, the DEI quota filler people, they do real work too. And nothing exemplifies or illustrates DEI more than Donnie's current administration. Ain't a damn one of them qualified that I can think of. Not one. And we know we've got a convicted felon as president, so there's that. But that didn't sway you rubes either. So we're not some DEI quota filler, Leon and Donnie. You need to give us our contract, but we do hard work. No, you don't. You're just a cunt who got a federal contract. And now it's gone because you're a fucking idiot rube who voted hate. Well, that hate came back and bit you on the ass, Rube. And my God, it's going to bite so many more of you. I'm already seeing, 100 of these comments already of Rubes that lost their jobs. And they all mention DEI when they're trying to get the contract or the job back. Not one of you has proven to me that you've learned anything, that you've had any sincere change of heart. You just want to cry on everyone's shoulders and have them rally around you now when you're the one that fucking shot yourself in the ass intentionally, hoping those bullets aimed at your ass were going to hit other people. And again, this cunt's worried about their business and DEI and catching Donnie and Leon's eye to make sure they know, we're racist, don't worry, we're on your team. We're not DEI, we do real work. Learned absolutely nothing. Doubling down. Guess where they going? I think you know the answer to that question. Again, another worthless cunt trying to cry on everyone's shoulder, rally around me after I cut my own throat. After I threw all my fellow citizens under the bus that are different than me because I don't like them. Please come help me now. Nah, fuck you. Here's Leon again. The only way to restore rule of the people in America is to impeach judges. Really? Wow. No one is above the law, including judges. Well, Leon and Donnie are above the law. That's two. There's a Republican congressman who just beat the fuck out of some woman. And Mr. Martin's not, the U.S. attorney isn't prosecuting him. And they're not even going to arrest him. So, yes, many people are above the law in America, especially now that the Reich's in charge. They let jailbirds right the fuck out of jail. That is what it took to fix El Salvador. Same applies to America. Wow. So we got some great wisdom from Leon, and it has nothing to do with that, the fact that he's the false prophet and he wants to rule the world, and Donnie wants to rule the world, and they want Greenland and Canada and South America and Central America, and they just want to be, twin Caesars. And they want all the money in the world in their bank account. But he has this wisdom for us. We got to impeach judges because they're impeding Leon's ability to grift, steal, and dismantle faster. And get the fascist thing going. Again, these people are in a hurry. That's why you're seeing comments like this. They don't have that much time before their day at the lake comes. That's why they're so desperate, so in a hurry. So, I don't know much about El Salvador, so let's see the point that Leon's making actually come from someone who tells the truth and isn't the false prophet and a straight-up child of Satan. Let's read. El Salvador is a brutal far-right dictatorship where the so-called president is serving illegally in violation of term limit laws and infamously incarcerates innocent, non-violent citizens for life under the guise of fighting crime. Those who praise him hate America. Indeed, those who praise him hate humanity. Those who praise him hate God, I would say. Sounds like a fucking nightmare, and I can totally see why Leon and Donnie love the El Salvadorian dictator. Because he stayed past his term limits, and he incarcerates anyone that is a problem for him. So, of course, Leon and Donnie love that guy or love that model. That's the model they want here. Literally. Here's the proof of it. He's pointing to El Salvador as some kind of bastion of democracy. God, you fucking rubes are stupid. You handed your country to that. Amy Gleason is the new head of DOGE. Never heard of her. I thought Leon was the head of... Oh, that's right. Until the word prison started getting battered around or thrown around. Then Leon's like, oh shit, let me let these fucking punk-ass idiot kids I groom take the fucking fall. And I'll let Amy take the fall too. Again, who the fuck would want that job after Leon had a memo put out from the White House saying, I don't have anything to do with DOGE. I don't know what you're talking about. Even though he was literally running it, and he still is. So Amy Gleason was just found out. They asked Miss Levitt again, who's running DOGE? Oh, we got to think of a name real quick. No one's coming to take the job because they know they're the one that's going to go to prison instead of Leon. So no one really wants that job. So let's find this hideous, fat, out of shape woman that has nothing else going on in her life. When CBS News spoke to Amy Gleason Tuesday morning ahead of her announcement as DOGE acting administrator, she's not even the full-time administrator, she's acting. She's acting. She said she was in Mexico and declined to comment further. Wow, the head of DOGE is in Mexico. And she didn't want to comment. Don't worry, I'll comment for you, honey. That's her. Isn't she gorgeous? Looks like Amy Gleason should cut some things out of her personal life, wouldn't you say? Hey, she's all about trimming the fat, right? In our government. She's going to help dismantle our country and help the Hitler Youth. She's going to take the fall when everyone gets arrested or whatever happens. Again, why doesn't she cut things out of her own life? It seems like she's got a lot of extra there, wouldn't you say? To the point she's losing her hair a little bit. She's so large. I've seen that before with some overweight people. I see a hideous human being with no soul. That's what I see in this picture, with an utterly fake smile. Look at how she's clenching her teeth together. I wonder how long she practiced that fake smile for that picture, to try and come off as human. Miss Gleason, your warning. Turn away now. Or burn. Your choice. And again, that's on the other side, Miss Gleason. I'm not talking about here. You know what I'm talking about. So one more time, I got to make the point here. Maybe she needs to cut some shit out in her personal life. Maybe cut a little food out, little carbs maybe, a little alcohol. Again, she's all about trimming the fat in government, right? That's what they say these people are about. That's the department she's heading up. But what about you, Miss Gleason? When are you going to cut the waste out of your life and stop being a worthless fat ass who's willing to sell her soul to take Leon's place as the head of DOGE? Oh my God, how pathetic your life must be, that you'd even consider taking this job. I wouldn't care if it paid $50 million a year. I'd be like, fuck you. I am not going to be the one firing millions of people so you can grift, Donnie, and so Leon can grift. You ain't putting my name and face on this like you put dumbass Miss Gleason's. Her life is ruined now. Over. Forget about it. Dead before she was born. Now everyone knows her face and name. A lot of really mad people. Well done, Miss Gleason. I'm sure this will go real well for you. And my God, you're hideous, I must say. I mean, that face, I can just see the haggardness being hidden by the filter and a little bit of makeup. Just the haggard, worn out nothingness. It's written all over this person. And I can tell by the smile, I can tell by the demeanor, this is someone that has very dark inside, very dark behind closed doors. It's written all over her. She doesn't look pleasant or nice at all. It's all facade, and I could see it just by the way she's clenching her teeth for that fake smile. So, Miss Gleason, since you're all about trimming the fat, I suggest you cut some things out of your life, personally, so you don't look like this anymore. You look rather slovenly, rather obese. Like you're saying our government is, right? Fraudulent, wasteful. Well, you're looking slovenly and obese. Maybe you need to cut things down a little bit. Trim some of the fat. Just a thought, Miss Gleason. And I suggest you turn away. You don't want to face the wrath that's coming your way, son. Trust me. Let's get one more look at another traitor's face. Isn't she gorgeous? Another utterly beyond under mediocre human who would never get an opportunity like this unless it was to do evil. And they need someone who doesn't care about their reputation or the rest of their life, because the last job on earth I would want to have is the head of DOGE, firing millions of people. That has a tendency to come back on a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying, Leon? Hitler Youth has a tendency to, experience some backlash, children, that you ain't ready for. None of you are ready for what you've done. The whole world knows your faces and names. your parents' faces and names. It's not going to go well for you people. But this is the path you chose, the path of Satan, the path of Leon. I don't know what to tell you people, but I am thrilled to see that 21 workers decided to turn away and not allow the Reich and the Satanists to use their skills to loot and ruin America. Dismantle government agencies. Is that how they worded it? But hey, Leon's got the Hitler Youth to dismantle. They'll sit there late at night when pregnant women are in foreign countries trying to get that last little payment from U.S. aid so they can get home. They'll sit there late at night and deny that claim manually. One more time, the Hitler Youth, not only do they get a peek at all of our personal information, they have it all now. Classified secrets, nuclear secrets, they have it all now. One of them just graduated high school. The rest are college dropouts, except for the oldest one. They have all of you and your family's info. Everything. I don't get it, man. I don't get why even you rubes ain't out on the street right now, knowing what I just told you. I'm not suggesting people go out on the streets either, because I don't think it's going to go well. We're not dealing with the normal thing here. We're dealing with Vlad Jr. and Leon. But anyway, one more time, not only, it wasn't bad enough that the Hitler Youth deploying AI to fuck with all our government computer systems, and God knows what other commands are in there. They would actually sit there again as people were desperate trying to get out of a country that they don't live in, that they're not from, because the work's over. They want that last payment so they can get the fuck out. You got cunt children destined for the fucking lake, denying their payments in person, manually. I would not want to be you kids. You've got two very important entities that hate your fucking guts. Most of the world on this plane, in this realm, and God in the next. That is your existence now. Lest you turn away. But I know you children, you all think you're wise. I know. God doesn't think you're wise. Neither does the general population that you're stealing, dismantling, and looting. Your life is over here. Your life is over in the next plane as well. That's a lot of achievements before you even hit 25. Ruin your whole life forever. What little amount of years we got left. You'll be hated and despised by billions. Leon already is. That's your future, children, if you had one. But, what else would a sociopath douchebag look for but a bunch of young little sociopath douchebags that were raised by sociopaths? How do I know you were raised by sociopaths? What you're doing right now, that's how I know. In other words, I'm saying your parents are pieces of shit just like you. I know that. I don't even have to meet them once. I already know. And lucky for us, out here in peasant land, We have all the information about you that you have about us. Isn't that nice? Nice little balanced equation. Only our side of the equation has millions more than you. I'm sure it'll go well for all of you. So again, warnings, Mr. Hegseth. I've given you a warning already, but I'll mention you again. Mr. Martin, Miss Levitt, all of you. Turn away. Like those 21 DOGE engineers turned away. That took balls to do that. It took balls to write what they wrote, too. I dig that. Not too many dudes or women with spine or balls, whatever you want to call it. You know, like Alexander Vindman, balls the size of softballs. Or Zelensky. Those people are so rare. How do I know they're so rare? Because there's so many of you sociopaths out there willing to fill that void of evil. It's your big chance. And it only ends up in one place, unfortunately for you. In the lake. So when I'm standing there and I got to do my job, I'm just going to tell you it's just business. Right? That's fair. That's what you told people. And you never repented of it. You just carry on that way because that's American corporate culture. There's another word for it, evil. And just because you say it's just business, it doesn't make the evil go away. It doesn't make your date with the lake go away either. But it helps you sleep at night, doesn't it? I bet it does. Anyway, this isn't really preaching time, it's judgment time. For everybody. The bad guys and the good guys. Anyway, until the next episode, have a wonderful evening, everyone. Oh, and YouTube, Google, Mr. Sundar, could you not let the racists write the N-word up and down the screen just because they pay you? That'd be nice. It'd be nice if you people actually cared about anything. Humans, America, anything. But obviously you don't. Because I still had a person writing the N-word for 2-3 nights in a row. I was wondering what they were writing. It looked like 1, 2, 3, 4. I couldn't tell what it was because I'm not really paying attention. I just look for a few names once in a while. But when I see something weird on the screen like that, and I've been seeing that for a few years now on live streams, why do you allow that, Google? The adjudicated criminal Google. Why do you allow people to come write the N-word down the screen during live chats? It's almost as if you people don't care about anything but money. No, it's not as if that's the case. It is the case. And you've proven it time and time again. Anyway, I digress again. I'm spending too much time here. Have a good evening, and until the next episode.